Hello. We're going to try this again.
Round 2.
Welcome to RC Lawn Chair Pilots Podcast.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm Steven.
I'm Derek.
And we're excited to talk about today's thing.
Yes, we are.
So this weekend, as we're recording this and the last couple days, welcome to Soar Utah.
Yes. So every other year, the Intermountain Slope Soarers Club that's here in Utah puts on, or Intermountain Silent Flyers, that's what they're called, Intermountain Silent Flyers. They put on an event called Soar Utah. It's an every other year thing, and it's a weekend long of just all things gliders. It's amazing.
So it started Thursday afternoon and then went Friday, Saturday, today, which is Sunday, and then Monday also, tomorrow, which is a holiday. And so I'm imagining it's probably pretty busy out there right now, and tomorrow will be busy. So
should be an awesome event.
This should be really good. We've got some exciting things. Unfortunately, I was not able to go. I had other
You had other commitments
that came up.
I spent yesterday out at Point of the Mountain in Utah with the club and with the group and flying all day, all kinds of gliders. It was a good time.
Yes. So spoiler, you're going to get to see some of that stuff coming up.
I talked to a few of the guys there, got interviews with them. They told me about their planes and just their life in RC sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Just some chit chat, and we'll share that with you guys once we're done jibber jabbering here.
The jibber jabber. So I don't have anything new going on. I still just need to repair my glider, but there's some other things that I was looking at. But right now, I just want to fix my glider and go fly it because I miss flying it.
Yeah.
But it's because of the same reason I didn't go flying yesterday or go to Soar Utah yesterday. It was part of the same reason why I haven't fixed my glider. I've been very busy with some other commitments. So hopefully I'll be able to clean up some of that mess and be able to go flying. But Derek, what do you got going on? You got some stuff going.
So I've been pretty busy. So I've been working on, several months ago, I bought a balsa wood kit called the Chaos Wing. It's from Direct Connection RC on RC Groups.
Which you can see on the video there.
On the video, you can see it here. It's a flying wing kit. I've got it, all the balsa except for the ailerons ready. And I just recently bought all the electronics for it. Where did I put them? Oh,
they're right in front of you.
So it's fun. So I did a bit of research. The guy that I bought it from had some recommended electronics because he's the one that made the kit.
Oh, okay.
So I went off of his recommendations and I bought a 2450 kV motor.
Ooh, okay.
So pretty hefty one.
Yeah.
It's the Thrust Series FPV racing motor from Blade, so sold by Horizon Hobby. And then I have a 20 amp ESC from Hobby Wing. It's the Hobby Wing Skywalker 20 amp. And I bought all this at my local hobby shop at West Valley Hobbies. Great place.
Yes.
And then I bought the two servos I got are the high-tech HS53s. And they fit perfectly in that little space. Let's see here.
You've already got them mounted in there.
Yeah,
right?
I've already got them. Well, I've got them resting in there, so I know where to drill the holes.
Not fully mounted.
Yeah, but they're little 8-gram servos.
So
and then
nice.
I'm planning right now to use a 500 milliamp battery. It recommends 1,000, but 1,000 amps or 1,000 milliamps are hard to find. So I've got my eye on an 800 that I'm going to get and put in there. So, but yeah, that thing is almost it's ready for covering.
Nice.
And I've got the covering essentials from my father-in-law, so I'm ready to go.
It looks amazing. Those of you in the video, you got to see it. It looks amazing, even right now. Like, I'm excited to see it finished. But this thing
There's something pretty about naked balsa wood.
In this position, yes. Definitely. I don't know. I like it. I think it looks really, really good.
Yeah.
But I can't wait till you finish. Are you going to do like a clear covering, or are you going to do like a see-through one, or are you going to be solid?
I think I'm going to go. So I have some solids and I have a lot of transparents. I'm going to go with a transparent on the wings.
Yeah, it's going to look.
And
it's going to look so nice.
Yeah, and then I think the fuselage is going to be a solid color.
Okay.
I have to look at my colors and decide what I want to use.
Okay.
But I love showing off the ribs of an airplane.
Oh yeah, it looks nice.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, but that's what I've been doing there. Other projects. I finished my Spirit glider. I finished last week so I could take it to Soar Utah.
Yep.
As part of that, so I wanted a beat. So the original battery for it was a NiCad battery, so nickel cadmium.
Uh-huh.
and I charged it up, and it took a charge, but it didn't hold the charge. It immediately died.
Yeah. Okay.
So I decided to use one of my LIPOs. And before that, I needed a BEC, a voltage regulator,
Okay.
battery eliminator circuit.
Yeah.
So I've got a ESC that's got a lot BEC built into it, but I didn't want to use that because most ESCs have a BEC built into them because your receiver can only take so much voltage.
Yeah.
And then I was looking on places like Hobby King for pre-built ones, but they were $7-8 for a really small light one, and it would be shipping from China, so I wouldn't have gotten it. But I found on Race Day Quads, they sold a 3-pack of micro 5-volt BEC or micro BECs that you can choose 5 or 9 volts. It default, it's set to 5 volts. You solder 2 pads together, it becomes 9 volts.
Okay.
It can take an input of 2 to 8S.
Okay.
So 2 to 8 cell battery, and outputs 5 or 9 volts. They weigh 1 gram each. They are the size of a micro SD card.
Wow.
They are so tiny.
That's cool.
So I bought a 3-pack of those. 3-pack was $8 or $9, and then shipping.
So $3 a thing plus shipping.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I'm going to be getting more. So I got that, wired it up. It's in my glider. Flew amazing. Absolutely loved it.
That is awesome, and zero or little to no weight. So.
Yeah. And then one other fun thing that I want to talk about. So this is a new product that FreeSky's put out. It's called the FreeSky NFC Power Switch. So when it comes to like competition gliders, a lot of guys will put in this magnetic switch to turn on and off the glider. So you plug in your battery and everything, you slide the cover on, close it up, and you don't have to open it again. You take this magnetic handle wand thing and you pass it over the switch, and that turns it on.
Oh, okay.
And then you pass it over again and it turns it off.
That's pretty cool.
FreeSky now has their own.
Ah, exciting.
Yeah. So it'll be great. It has, it'll work on gliders, anything with a current amp or current draw of less than 20 amps with a 30 amp burst. So you can actually power a small electric plane with it. And just it would be great for any plane that's kind of difficult to get inside because you just have to pass it over the surface.
That's actually really cool. And then you can leave the battery in, so you just have a charging port exposed.
Exactly, yeah.
And leave the battery in. That's actually very, very cool.
So yeah, so that they've just released that on their website. I'm super excited for it. I'm excited to see when that comes out. So that's what I have for product updates. And projects and stuff. As for latest outings, my latest outing was Soar Utah. It was awesome. So I was out there at the point of the mountain. We were using the south slope because the wind was coming from the south. But
yeah, and you said the wind was like 17 miles per hour?
It was averaging 17 miles an hour.
Wow.
It was good breeze. There was good wind up there. But I got my mini DLG up. I was getting 4 or 5 minute flights.
That's awesome.
And I even took out my flight test mini Sparrow. It's a V-tailed little tiny plane. We took it out to Point of the Mountain one time.
Yeah, okay.
But I got that out, balanced it out, and I was flying that for several minutes at a time as well. It flew a lot better than I expected.
Then the Spirit, right?
Yeah, I took out my Great Plains Spirit 2 meter, and I waited until like I was almost ready to go home. I waited till the afternoon to fly that. I was so scared. And there was a lot of people there. There's like 20 guys. There was, I think, 30 or 40 guys there with a total of maybe 100 planes. Not all of them went up, but there was a lot of planes there.
Yeah.
So I waited until things had slowed down and there's only a couple of planes out on the hill. And then I took my glider. I had the GoPro mounted above where the canopy goes so you can see the nose of the glider and all that stuff. And I flew and the first flight was 3 minutes. And I had a close encounter, so I brought it down so I could calm myself. But then I put it out another time. And that flight went 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Mostly because I tried to land it and had to I failed my landing 3 times and kept out and having to abort landing and come back around.
So you'll get to see those. We've got videos of those.
Yeah.
So
we'll put those in a separate videos than
watch
this
for
one.
those to come.
So that our audio listeners don't just have to listen to whooshing air and music.
Yeah. So next we have Derek. While he was up there, he interviewed several people. And so we're going to have some of those interviews being played. So you're going to get to see some of those here coming up in just a second.
Yep. So stick around.
Yeah. And then Yeah, and then
That's it.
like I didn't have anything else because I'm still working on mine. So we'll meet you back after the interviews.
Yep. Don't go away. All right, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. But this is Derek with the RC Lawn Chair Pilots podcast. Welcome to Soar Utah. We have got gliders for days. There are some cool planes out here. Nice steady winds. Everything's looking great. We're gonna talk to some people, see what they've brought and see what they're flying today. We're gonna get some cool stories. I've seen some awesome planes so far. Met some cool people, so we're gonna watch some planes fly. All right, so tell me give yourselves a quick introduction.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jeff Meskey, Sandy, Utah. This is a durable aircraft models kit that's about 21 years old.
Yeah.
It's been reconfigured to a British Mustang 3.
Beautiful.
And it's actually covered with brown paper and PVA.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did you choose that? Just to beef up the foam?
Thought I'd give it a try. I've heard other people doing it, and
Does it work?
yeah, it's a little fragile. It
Okay.
cracks when you do strange things to the plane,
That's fair.
but yeah, it was quick and easy, and Cali graphics for the for all the decals. Yeah,
I've heard good things about Kelly Graphics.
yeah, good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's again, I haven't flown in about 12 years, so
Oh yeah.
it's a little sketchy. It's maiden today, so
Oh, okay. Well, I got a bit of the first flight, and it looks like overall it's flying.
close.
It needs
It's
some
close.
tweaking, but
yeah.
well, cool.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Bring anything else fun?
Nope, that's it. I have a couple old kits. I have this one, and I have a 3-meter EPP Fox
Oh, fun.
from can't remember who made it now even.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's all EPP 3 meters. I'm
Nice.
getting it back to flying status.
Well, that's exciting. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, sure. Well, we'll start with the Mustang. Mustang is basically the same kit that Jeff has.
Okay.
Durable aircraft models, P51. And when these started in production, I had, they were the D model. I made
Okay.
the D model, so bubble canopy. And it occurred to me after about 20 years, this was pretty ratty. It was looking pretty ratty. Iron-on film, and of course you know that iron-on film only lasts really so long.
Yeah, exactly.
And being all EPP, it's meant to bend and everything like that, and that produces wrinkles in iron-on covering.
Exactly.
So I've been endeavoring to create a better covering mechanism for EPP, and what I came upon was polycarbonate film. So it can range anywhere from 5 to 30 thousandths thick.
Okay.
And that's what this Mustang is covered with. So it has all polycarbonate skins. Several pieces are vacuum formed. So this whole canopy kind of is one part. It starts from about here and it goes all the way back to about here.
Oh, gotcha. So you
Okay.
only painted over part of it.
Well, I actually decided in the conversion from a D to a B model with a Malcolm hood, I needed to make that vacuum formed piece. So that's kind of the best way to put in this, bubble canopy and such like that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no other way you're going to get those splines and contours.
These are 30 thousandths thick, so these are pretty stout. Of course, they need to be up in the front. I don't really care too much about the weight of that at that point. But the skins are about 10 thousandths thick, and then on this particular model, I just wanted to experiment with making rivets that looked more scale.
Yeah, well, like you can see on there.
So as compared to this
there's a ton of
T33, these are all vacuum formed details. So
Oh, my.
that's why I like polycarbonate, because you can vacuum form the details. So
Rather than having to punch them in individually.
that's right. So I had aspirations to kit this model. I produced about 6 of them, and I kind of lost interest in ensuring that I would have T33s for everybody.
Yeah.
So there's a limited number, but that's the difference between a vacuum formed piece. And that rivet detail is a little large for this model. It's generally okay, But
it looks really nice.
on this one, I just applied a little different technique to applying the rivets.
Gotcha.
Lots of 3D parts like the exhaust stacks and the radio, the A-pillar frame. Some of the seat components are 3D printed as well.
That is awesome.
Like the fuel filler caps, those are 3D printed.
Oh yeah. Oh, cool.
But yeah, unfortunately it's heavy.
Yeah.
It weighs about 9 pounds, so Jeff's P51 is probably 5 pounds.
Okay.
So I need at least 18, 19 miles an hour worth of wind to feel confident to throw it out.
One of the guys was just up there with a Kestrel, and he said that it's cooking out about averaging 17.2.
Is that right?
Yeah. So hopefully that's enough. Well, the wind will pick up, and you can get some. What does it take to fly the T-38?
It's a T-33.
T-33, excuse me.
And this is kind of the Navy version, so they technically called it a TV2.
Okay.
But this one's got a pretty big wing, so I think in 17 mile an hour worth of wind, I think it'll fly.
Okay. Well, that'll be awesome to see if you get it up.
Yeah.
I'll have to get some footage of it.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I do good just chatting.
Fair enough.
Don't tell me about any of that.
So you say you're from California?
Yes, sir. From Northern California.
And were you out here yesterday and the day before doing the aerotow and stuff?
I did not do anything. I didn't have anything to fly for aerotow, but I did go to the aerotow event yesterday. It was actually really nice. I saw about maybe 20 people there. Some really nice gliders, scaled gliders, and there was some nice powered planes also. Yeah. And also flew the some lighter slope planes. Off of a bungee.
Oh, there you go. That'd be fun.
Yeah, so that was nice.
So what is this plane you're flying now?
This one is called CCM is the name of the company, and it's called the Toy. It's a 2-meter plane.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks like a mini F3F ship.
Yeah, it kind of does. Now remind me, what is the F3F class? What does that entail?
F3F is a type of slope racing. I believe they do that here at Point of the Mountain. The club here does it. It is a 100-meter course, and they fly 10 legs back and forth, and it's a timed run.
So just timed laps of
a kilometer with 9 turns.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a great flying event you guys have here.
Yeah.
Big turnout, it looks like. I've never seen so many gliders flying at the same time together.
Yeah, you know, this is my first time out here, and I honestly wasn't expecting this many airplanes. Like, I expected this many people, but I didn't expect like 10 or 12 airplanes per person, which is about what we're seeing, which is just awesome.
Yeah, I love what you were saying too, because the sky right now is switching. I guess the wind is switching. Yeah. And there's moments where the air gets really good and moments where the air gets soft. I guess we're going to possibly get ready to switch to the other side.
Yeah.
I guess I'm also in people's way. I should fly out of the I see they're ripping it up here. I think that's Matt and Dan.
Those two guys down on the end
back
there.
And forth. Well, and I think Lauren, I think that's the two of them flying ISR here back, or kind of like legs back and forth. I want to do this. I don't think I can stay with them though. They're way too fast. Let's see if I can.
There's something about that whistling sound that just gets you. I love that so much.
Yeah, I want some of that fun. How can I do that? I need to add more ballast maybe, or maybe I just need to cut the turns. Try to stay with them. Let's see if I can. Here we go.
There you go. Now you're in there.
Well, at least for that pass.
Yeah.
That's like almost like 4 planes. 2 F3F and 2 2-meters.
Oh, this is just so much fun. Like, of all the Saturdays I've spent and gone out and done stuff, this is one of the best.
Yeah, this is some really nice air. Right now, it's pretty fun actually.
Yeah.
So, how big is this club that's out here? It seems like, see, I think I cut that turn again. Yeah. It looks like a lot of people here. I've talked to people from Oklahoma, from Florida. I think Mike is the farthest person that drove.
Yeah.
From Idaho, Nevada, California.
So the club here, I think it's 20, 25 members that meet every month. I haven't joined it yet. I'm still.
Oh, okay.
I just got my AMA license 2 weeks ago, which is why I'm able to fly here.
I see.
I bought it specifically so I could come out here.
Nice.
But I'm looking forward to. I may have to go and drop in on one of the IMSF club meets just to see what's going on and have some fun with those guys.
That sounds great. I mean, if I lived here, I would definitely do that. That seems like a great club out here.
It really does. Yeah, Dave's done a good job setting this place up.
So that's who I met. Yeah, and he was at Aerotow yesterday doing a lot of work.
Yeah, he's the one that's kind of set this all up and made it all possible for us.
Very gracious host.
Right?
Yeah, having a great time here.
So I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I've noticed that a lot of these planes have V-tails.
Yes.
Why V-tail over conventional tail, vertical and horizontal stabilizers?
I don't really know. I don't have a good answer. I can say what I think, which is probably not a really good answer, but I think it goes in trends. It seems like for preferences for the manufacturers. I think I've heard that V-tails could have less drag.
Yeah.
So maybe that's true, but I also think they're easier to produce and manufacture. You don't have a bell crank to deal with. You don't have platforms. It's just a lot easier to build a boom and two joiners sticking out, and they make two V-tails that are identical to each other, and there's no extra parts. So if you're trying to make something super light for thermal ship, you can make a V-tail and make it very light and get the lightest airframe that way. And I think for F3F racing, they just basically make a heavier layup, and they don't need as much production tooling to be able to pull it off. So that's what I think. I think it's actually in a trend where in Europe they're able to make the planes pretty light and strong and stiff, and from a manufacturing standpoint it's easier for them and they still perform good. Yeah. So that's what it is. I don't really know aerodynamically what's really true. I don't really.
Have you noticed any performance difference between your V-tails and your conventional tails?
I never compared them so much to be able to tell. I mean, I generally think that, if you're doing pure aerobatics, and you're flying knife edge, I would think it's better to have a conventional tail than a V-tail.
Yeah.
But then I've also done point rolls with V-tail planes going high speed, and you can still hold the knife pretty good, even just holding the V-tail and going high speed. It'll hold knife pretty good.
Yeah.
But that's mostly a function of the speed, I think. So I don't know.
Could go either way.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I just fly each plane, and I'm not a designer. I don't know anything, and
you're just out here for the enjoyment.
Yeah, I'm just out for the fun. And I know all the F3F planes we fly, all of them now seem to have V-tails. So I hardly know of any like all the racing ones that are in the contest that are proven from a freestyler, Pike, Pit Bulls, Shintos, all of those type of planes, they're all V-tails. And it doesn't mean a crosstail wouldn't work if you just flew it well and everything, but for some reason they just don't seem to make as many crosstails types of those planes for some reason.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, but 10, 20 years ago it seemed like there was more crosstails and less V-tails, or they made just as many crosstails, and I don't know why they don't make them as much anymore now for the racing planes.
That makes sense. There'd be a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah, and then for the thermal planes, maybe they use, some people say if you have a crosstail with a big rudder, you can land more precisely when they need to precisely land and do all those things than a V-tail. But then other people say if you design the V-tail big enough, it will give you just as much control, and you can also still land it very precisely. And I think some of the top world pilots in those contests fly V-tails, and they seem to do good with them.
Yeah.
Good enough to win. So I don't know what is really. See, there was no simple answer. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate your thoughts on it.
Yeah, sorry for the rant.
No, you're fine. All right, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Matt Inlow. I live here in Utah in Park City.
Awesome.
And been a member of the club since 2000.
Okay.
So
very cool. So how many planes did you bring out with you today?
1, 2, 3, 5. 5. Got this, which is the first gen Pike Precision. I've got a Pike Precision narrow fuse. I've got a AT Viper, which is a mid-90s F3B plane, and then a leg 1D and one of those Park Zone KA8s. So that's gonna be my son's plane. So, but I had to make sure it flew right. I just bought it, and got it all going.
Well, very cool. So do you do competitive flying? You've got a lot of competitive style planes, it sounds like.
Yeah, we do F3F out here. So down on that end, the western side, there's a F3F course that we have.
Yeah.
And normal years we'll probably get like 3 races in, at least one, but you generally like 3 or more, and a couple practices. So I wouldn't call myself competitive though.
You just enjoy the flying.
I enjoy the flying. I enjoy F3F. It's a lot of fun.
So what is the F3F competition?
It is a 100-meter course. You get a limited time to climb out, and then you have to do 10 legs of that 100-meter course, and it's timed.
Okay.
So
nice. So what's a qualifying time for an F3F course?
I think if you're doing well, you're sub 40 seconds.
10 legs in 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
If you're doing well.
And what's your personal best on it?
I think I got like 38 seconds is my best. Like 38 and a lot of change, almost 40 or 39.
Jeez.
I think. I'd have to look. It's on F3X Vault. It might be a little higher than that, but
that is crazy.
Yeah. But the good pilots can do it. Low 30s.
Yeah, for sure.
You get the right wind and the right ballast setup, and someone that's really good on the sticks. Yeah. I think 26 is the record, something like that right now. It's the record, I think.
That's crazy. All right, so one more question for you. I've noticed there's a ton of planes out here that are rocking the V-tail.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see as the benefit of a V-tail over a conventional tail, or what are the pros and cons?
I think the V-tail just makes a cleaner roll, and then allows you to turn in faster.
Oh yeah.
I think a traditional T-tail, it tracks better,
Oh really?
So I don't think it's gonna, make that roll fast. A lot of people are like, oh, I got no story. Yeah, I think they're faster. Which means you can make your, leg turn, roll it and whip it around.
Yeah, whip it around. Okay.
So. I know people do fly T-tails in F3F, but most everyone flies a V-tail.
So to aid in rolling the plane, do you mix into your ailerons a bit of your V-tail to help it roll you over?
A rudder, like a 4-1?
Yeah.
No. So I got everything on this switch, and then on this Futaba, it's just a condition. It's conditions. Okay. So I set up the condition.
Logical switches.
So first upper switch is, I had to turn it on.
Well, and you got one of the cool magnet starters. Those things,
of course, now it won't work. Come on now. Right? No. You're gonna edit this part, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. There we go, yay!
There we go. All right, that would be helpful. All right, so the way I have it set up is it's just 3 conditions.
Yeah.
That's a launch condition, right? So it does have the 4-1 mixing with the rudder. It does have snap flaps. You can see how the whole trailing edge goes.
Yeah.
Right, but of course nothing for the butterfly.
Okay.
And then and then I also have the ability to adjust the snap flap volume. So how much snap flap I have, basically no snap flap to, that's probably 4 millimeters, 5 millimeters.
Yeah.
So, and then I have race conditions, so I put it in the middle, right? And there's no 4-1 mixing there, just the snap flaps, and then no butterfly. And then the landing condition basically reduces, there's no snap flap at this point, it's just aileron input, 4-1 mixing, and of course I've got
You've got the crow brakes on there.
So
nice. Well, awesome.
That's how I run it. There's a lot of people have a few more conditions where they run for heavier wind and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
makes sense. You want to be able to optimize whatever situation you're in.
Yeah, when you throw a bunch of ballast in it, it changes. It changes the CG, so it changes how they fly a little bit. And there's a lot of debate on how useful snap flap can be, and like you really need it in heavy wind and light wind, and so.
Yeah, absolutely. So what weight do you run this plane at?
Oh God, honestly I don't know.
Just wherever it balances out.
Yeah, I honestly don't know I haven't weighed it. I have to weigh it.
Yeah.
So.
Fair enough. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Lee, go ahead and.
So this is, you can see on the side here, this is a manual Hulk, and it was designed by Bill Manuel, who built it in 1968, 69. One was built, and he flew it for about 4 or 5 years, and then it's hanging in a museum in England right now. But the reason why it caught my attention was there was when you read the article about the guy, he was one of the leading aerospace engineers back in the early, late 20s, early 30s, who designed a lot of the early gliders in England. And of course, they're a lot more vintage than this. And then, he was working and as an aerospace engineer and or automotive engineer in England, and he designed this somewhere in there, I'm guessing in the early 60s, late 50s, looking at the design. And then when he retired in 68, he built it. I found from Soaring UK, I found very good 3 views of it.
Oh, nice.
And I had a friend convert him to AutoCAD, and from that AutoCAD, I converted that AutoCAD into plans and built it. So it's scale other than the airfoil. This is a Sea-Leg airfoil, and the real one, I can't remember what airfoil it had, but it wasn't a Sea-Leg.
Well, and I'm sure you changed the airfoil to get better performance out of a scale model.
Exactly. You don't want wing near that thick.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it flies real well. It's a quarter scale, so certainly a scale outline.
Yeah.
Even the shape of the body. That 3 view had the coordinates and had the shapes of the bulkheads throughout the points in the body, and I was able to take that and just scale it down and make bulkheads, and built the bottom half of the fuse, and then flipped it over and built the top half, and
that's just.
It was a lot of fun, real fun build. It's balsa over the bulkheads and the spruce bars or spruce longerons, and then cover with 1/8 inch balsa, then glassed, and then I did this kind of fake wood grain with paint, and then a clear polyurethane over it.
Well done. That is, like, my word, that is a beautiful plane. That is just great. And all the scale details, or all the details inside and such.
I wouldn't call them scale.
No.
The instrument panel was something like that. And so this was scale, which is kind of unique. I mean, this was built he built this in the 60s, and certainly in the 60s, late 60s, they had bubble canopies. But he was old school, and he did the plate glass wrap, the plastic plate wrap with over the kind of an old-timey canopy. But I went ahead and did the same, of course, on this.
Yeah.
But we aerotow this a lot out at Grantsville, and then I've lived just right around the corner, so I fly it a good bit on the point.
That's awesome. So you're part of the IMSF.
Right.
Okay. I need to get out to one of the club meets one of these times.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Yeah. Well, that is awesome. Thank you very much, Lee, for taking the time.
All right. So nice, right? That was I'm excited. Those were some. It was pretty awesome.
Those were great. There were a lot of great guys. I didn't know anyone. I had talked to a couple of them on the forums, but I didn't know anyone's real names because forums,
Yeah.
But I went out there, just started talking to people. They were super receptive, thought this was entertaining and cool. They had some cool planes to show me, some cool stories to tell. So I'm glad I was able to share that with you guys. Hope you enjoyed that as well.
Yeah. Now, as you noticed, there were a couple sad pictures. One specifically really sad one.
Yeah. My DLG bit the dust.
And we're pretty sure it's retired.
Yeah, so on my last flight with that thing, I brought it up and over my head, and I tried to turn it around, and I don't know how, but somehow it ended up pointed straight at me and just came straight into the ground and just snapped the canopy. So snapped the fuselage right next to where it attaches to the tail boom. So I don't think there's any salvaging it.
I haven't had a chance to go look at it in greater detail. I'm hopeful.
I'll show you in a minute. It's not.
I'm hopeful. Derek's pretty sure that it's dead, and as you can see from the picture, that's a good possibility.
It's a compound fracture.
Yeah, it's gonna have. If we can fix it, it will still be weak, and you'll have to be careful with it.
My question is, I don't think it's worth trying to fix.
It might not be. Like we talked about it because of the age of it and stuff like that. My elf was what I say, $180 is all.
Yeah.
So maybe just get another DLG.
And I have my eyes on one from a company called Art Hobby. They make the Momentum DLG. It's a full-size 1.5 meter.
So bigger wingspan.
Yeah. For the kit minus electronics is $260.
Is that still under the 250 gram?
Uh-huh. Just barely.
Okay.
But it is. So, and there were a bunch of guys out there
with
those gliders, the Art Hobby gliders, not that one, but from that company.
That same.
Okay. They love them. They are amazing planes, and they look awesome. So once they're back in stock, I will get one of those.
All right.
That'll be my go-to.
So
DLG.
we might not rescue it, but I don't know. It's a nice DLG. So maybe as a long-term project, we figure out if it can be fixed.
I might reuse the wing for something because there's only one bad spot on the wing that needs fixing.
And all the electronics are still good.
Electronics are still good.
Nothing was destroyed there.
No.
So, and then you saw you didn't see the video. As we talked about the videos.
Watch for the video of the glider.
They'll be on our YouTube channel and probably in multiple places. We're going to put it on this one, and then you'll put it on your personal one,
So I have
right?
2 videos. I have 2 flight videos. I will put a edited, more exciting version of the flights on this channel.
And then the longer ones on
And then
yours.
I will put the full flights on my personal channel.
Okay, so watch for those. Check links in the description for different things as they start showing up so you can see the different videos. So, but thank you for your time today. And as always, go out there and fly, have some fun.
Yeah.
And remember.
When flying invert. Oh, and on the note of this, there was a guy there were 2 guys flying yesterday that I think spent 90% of their time in the air upside down.
On purpose?
On purpose.
Wow.
Like there was a guy, he flipped his plane upside down and was going back and forth across the slope upside down the entire time.
That's impressive.
There were some amazing pilots. But back to the ending. Remember, when flying inverted, up is down and down is expensive. Why did I forget it? RPM is how hard you hit the ground, and torque is how far you have to dig it to get it out. Why did I forget that?
I have no idea. Thank you.
See you guys.